how to change the people you love for all the right reasons and get the relationships you deserve. I get it, it's a provocative title, a little controversial. You mightn't like it, you might totally disagree with it, but just run a test with me for a moment. Let me explain the logic of this book to you and just see which part of the logic you disagree with, if any. You might be surprised. LG Electronics did a survey of 2,000 UK couples and discovered that 1 in 3 people wake up beside the single most annoying person they know. The humour in that statistic is that no relationship starts like that. You don't go out into the marketplace deliberately looking for the person who's going to annoy the shit out of you. You find the person who's most attractive. However, the law of entropy states that all systems are moving toward decay. They are deconstructing. They are moving toward randomness and chaos unless you put energy back into those systems. So just because a relationship starts out well doesn't guarantee it will remain well. Just because the space between 2 people is clean at the beginning doesn't mean it will remain clean. In order to guarantee quality relationships moving forward, you have to develop the skill to keep the space clean because it's getting dirty. It is getting polluted. Stuff is coming between you, and eventually, if you don't sort it out, you will wake up beside the most annoying person you know. No one goes into a relationship to have that happen, yet that's where it often ends up. So if you want your relationships to continue to improve, you are signing up for change. You must change the people you love, because if you don't, they will annoy the shit out of you and you'll end up hating them. So there are 5 parts to this. Try the logic on. See how this works for you. You might be surprised. Number 1, security. So it is your job to show up in the relationship secure about your value and worth. If you come in needy, if you come in hoping for the other person to fill your cup around significance, around self-worth, around love, then you show up in the weakest position possible. More than that, you repel the person you need. That is a recipe for disaster. If you want your relationships to work, it is a prerequisite that you confront your insecurity, you understand that it is a solvable problem, and you must show up as the prize. You must show up knowing what it is that you deserve in that relationship. Otherwise, you will have to settle for whatever you can take. You cannot afford to fight for change in case it goes bad for you, and you have to settle with what you've got. Once you are secure and are clear about what you deserve, you can move on to clarity, which is step 2. That is about understanding what it is you desire. If you know you deserve to be loved, if you know you deserve to be treated well, then you get to pitch for the things that are important to you. And granted, not everything is important to you. If you are not clear, you will end up fighting for everything and you'll become annoying. So be clear or be quiet. Understand the things that matter to you and be clear about what you want. Whether you want something to stop, whether you want something to start, be clear or be quiet. Without clarity, how is it that the other person can possibly rectify the situation that's causing you to feel like you are having an experience that you don't deserve? Be clear. Number 3 is integrity. Security, clarity, integrity. Before you go demanding change from somebody else, it is essential that you have already demanded change from yourself. When the pushback comes, and it is coming, no one enjoys being told that something they are doing is not working and they will need to improve. That is not a fun situation, and the natural response will be to push back, will be to counter-argue, will be to defend, will be to hold your position. So when the resistance comes, the only thing that will cause you to hold your ground is integrity. If you understand this is actually the best of you, speaking to the best of them for the very best reasons, then you will not be bullied off the turf. You will communicate that it has been a hard-fought battle to get to this stage. This is not a whim, this is not selfishness, this is not arrogance, this is not greed, this is the best of you. And the courage to go first is a significant gift to your relationship. Integrity means you have plumbed the depth of your own dysfunction and gone first. You are not claiming to be perfect, you are claiming to be wholehearted. You're also inviting an opportunity for your partner to push back and invite you to change, but you are going first. The next stage is maturity. So you could come this far and become immature about the process. You could demand change in a lopsided fashion. However, maturity means you can negotiate like an adult. If you do not have maturity, you'll end up compromising, which is to lose and have the other person lose. However, to negotiate means both of you get to win. You are being clear about the things that you want, and you are inviting the other person to be clear about the things that they want, which then gives you an opportunity to negotiate a new way, a way that never even existed before. It is to show up like an adult rather than to have conflict like a child. And then finally, authority. This is the capstone of the model. Nobody comes this far only to come this far. If stuff is annoying you, if stuff is getting in the way and it is not what you deserve or what you desire, and you've been clear that it must change, well then be clear that it must change. Go all the way till the end until you see change. Authority is the position that says, this is not a request, this is not a suggestion, this is a demand. And I am willing for you to experience the full consequences of your choices should you not wish to take this path of action. Should you not wish to change, here's what will happen next. And because I know what I deserve, I realise I have options. There are 10 other people lining up outside, so willing to take your place, looking forward to take your place should you wish to forfeit it. That decision is up to you, and I cannot force you to do that. However, I am in a position to enforce the consequences of what you decide next. That is a position, that is a threshold moment that demands change. Things improve from there. Things are rectified. Things are resolved. The space is reclaimed and recleaned, and you move toward intimacy. Without the space being cleaned, without moving all the way to authority, you have situations that are addressed once, twice, 3 times poorly, and then can never be addressed again. And now you descend into an arrangement with the person you love, and eventually they annoy you because the space between you has been polluted. Leverage how to change the people you love for all the right reasons and get the relationships you deserve. How did that logic work for you?